Hello, good morning. I'm Karianne,
Good morning, everyone. I'm Will.
and our company is called Lofti, and we are a well-being company, and we're excited to be leading you through creating a 2020 self-care checklist today. We're just going to quickly walk you through an agenda of what we're going to be talking through in our next hour. And then I'm going to share a little bit about guided meditation and sound, which we're going to be using as a tool today. And then we're going to jump in. So we broke up our day into really 3 steps with sort of a bonus activity to take away at the end. The first thing we're going to be doing is a guided meditation with sound bowls. And we're going to, through that process, be prompting you to start to work on your self-care goal, something that you brought with you or you've already been workshopping in your time here today, thinking through barriers to overcome it and how it will feel to accomplish it. Then we're going to have you do a little partner exercise where you're affirming that goal out loud and getting some real-time feedback. And then we're going to finish up with the third part, most importantly, creating that checklist or action plan. And our hope is that you'll walk away today feeling inspired by whatever it is you're looking to accomplish this year. One of the things we wanted to share about the tool of sound and why we have it as a part of our session is that we have found that it really increases meditation. It helps you to go to a deeper level in meditation. So whether you meditate regularly or you are just getting started or it's your first time, we find that when people experience a guided meditation with a sound bath, that they're able to go in a little bit deeper. And so with the short time today, that's our goal, is to be able to help you go into a little bit of a deeper introspective place, a little bit more vulnerable place, so that you are able to sort of clear anything out and bring anything in that you're looking for. I always like to share at the beginning of a sound bath, we do these regularly at Chill Meditation downtown, is that whether you've had a sound bath experience before or not, the thing that I love about it is a vibrational tool, right? So it works with our bodies, physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and it helps to go in and to just move things around. And so those vibrations that are going through the room work with your whole body. And you don't have to do anything at all to let that happen. I find that it usually helps me to get to a place of meditation a little bit faster. And in some scientific studies, it does show that when you're using a tool like a crystal sound bowl, it will help you actually get to a deeper place in your brain in a meditative state faster than you normally would. So it actually activates part of the brain that is normally only activated in a very deep sleep, or if you were a regular meditator. So that's another benefit to it. So I don't know how many of you have experienced sound before, but I'm really excited to share that with you if it's your first time, or to share it with you in a new way inside of a conference room if you are a veteran. So with that, we're going to jump in.
Great. So we'll get started here with our opening meditation. So let's find a comfortable seated position. Putting away your worksheet, your pen, feeling your feet firmly planted on the ground. Gently closing your eyes if that feels comfortable. Feeling your spine long, top of the head reaching up towards the sky. The sit bones grounded in the chair. Letting your shoulders soften. Letting your hands fall naturally wherever they want to fall. On your thighs, your palms clasped in your lap. Just slowly starting to settle in. Bringing awareness to your senses. The sounds outside the room, the sounds within the room. The touch of air on your skin, the temperature in the room, the surface supporting you, the floor, the chair, the earth, and where you're being supported by this surface. Your feet, your legs, your back. And gently bring your awareness throughout your body for an initial body scan. from the top of the head all the way down to the toes, without judgment, letting go of the thinking mind, just noticing any areas of tightness, of tension, any areas of openness and space, and softness. Your face, your head, your jaw, neck, your arms, shoulders, elbows, palms and fingers, torso, the front of the torso, the back of the torso. The whole upper half of the body, the torso, arms, neck, and head, is radiant and vibrant sensation. Letting go of analyzing, feeling and sensing. Sensations in your hips, waist and pelvis, your legs, knees, calf, ankles, feet and toes. The whole lower half of the body, hips, legs, feet, together. It's a radiant sensation. The whole body together, the top of the head, down to the toes, alive with sensation. Gently bringing your awareness to your breath, without controlling it, just notice the sensation, the flow of air into the nose, the throat, the chest, back out the other way, the chest, the throat, the nose. Just the gentle flow of the body breathing itself. Notice how you're breathing and where you're breathing in the body. In the upper lung, the upper chest and shoulders. Is it down in the abdomen, the full torso? Is it short and quick? Is it long and slow? And slowly setting this breath aside, being fully here for a moment, with the body and the breath, the mind. And then gently inviting in a question. One year from today, what is one thing you'd be most proud to have achieved regarding your self-care? What is one self-care goal that you'd be most proud to have achieved 1 year from today? Withholding judgment, letting go of analyzing, just noticing anything and everything that may arise. Your body, your mind, when you consider this self-care goal. And then setting this aside, just being with yourself fully here. Everything just as it is. Noticing all that you're aware of now in this moment. And then slowly come back. Come back to the space, the sounds around you, the surface supporting you. Inviting in intuitive movements, rolling your shoulders, your hands, your legs, your neck. Inviting in a deeper breath. Gently opening and closing your eyes a few times, letting the light come in. And then opening your eyes fully, awake and aware. And then take the next few minutes here, using the worksheets in front of you, the pen, to write down anything and everything that came up when you think of this self-care goal over the next year. And coming back to a comfortable seated position as we get back in to the meditation. So gently closing your eyes, feeling your spine long, shoulders, neck, jaw soften. Hands resting on your thighs and your lap. Feeling your feet firmly planted on the ground. Checking back in with your body. From the top of the head down to the toes. Noticing any sensations that you feel. Perhaps any different sensations. Areas of openness and spaciousness and well-being throughout the body. Gently bring your awareness back to your breath. A gentle flow in and out through the nose. Without trying to fix anything, change anything, or controlling it. It's the body breathing itself. In and out through the nose. And gently starting to deepen that breath. Letting that air fill up down through your belly, feeling that abdomen rise and expand. And then a long, slow exhale, softening, abdomen relaxing, abdomen softening. Long inhales and slow exhales. Breathing in throughout every cell of your body. Inhales finding space. Exhales softening and releasing anything that's not serving in this moment. Setting your breath aside, inviting in another question. As you think about your self-care goal over the next year, what is getting in your way? What is the biggest barrier holding you back from achieving and accomplishing this goal? Withholding all judgment, letting go of analyzing, just feeling and sensing whatever answers, perhaps questions that arise when you think of these barriers, the thing holding you back from achieving your goal. And gently setting this aside, just noticing everything just as it is, your body, your breath, your mind. And then gently come back. Come back to the space, the sounds around you, the surface supporting you. Inviting in some movement once again, deeper breath. Opening and closing your eyes a few times. And then opening your eyes fully, awake. Taking the next few minutes here, using your worksheets to write down anything and everything that came up in regards to this barrier, this thing holding you back from achieving your self-care goal. Coming back to our final piece of the meditation, finding that comfortable, upright, seated position. Gently closing your eyes if you'd like. Feeling your feet firmly planted on the ground. With spine reaching up long towards the sky. Softening through the shoulders, the neck, the jaw. Checking in here once again with your body. Your upper half, head, arms, torso. Your lower half, the hips, legs, and feet. Feeling this life force, this radiant sensation flowing through you from the top of your head down to your toes. Checking in with your breath. The flow of sensation as the body breathes itself. And through the nose, the throat, through the chest, throughout every cell of the body. And then with every exhale, softening and releasing. Notice any feelings, emotions, images, ideas that are present in the body. Without judgment, without trying to analyze. Just notice anything that's drawing your attention in this moment. Noticing everything, your body, your breath, your mind, everything just as it is. Not feeling the need to change or fix anything at all. Inviting in final question. As you think of this goal, this self-care goal over the next year, think of the things holding you back, the barrier. I invite you to bring in some perspective. Imagine the situation 1 year from today of overcoming the barrier, of achieving this self-care goal. What feelings, emotions come up? When you imagine the situation of overcoming and achieving this self-care goal. Withholding all judgment, letting go of analyzing. Notice anything and everything that may arise. And then gently setting this aside, inviting in feelings of joy, bliss, well-being, and happiness throughout your body. An inner smile radiating throughout every cell of your body, feelings of bliss and joy. And setting this aside gently, noticing everything just as it is in this moment now. Slowly come back to the space, the sounds around you, the temperature in the room, touch of air on your skin, the surface supporting you. Inviting in intuitive movements, a deeper breath, opening and closing your eyes a few times, coming back, fully awake, taking the next few minutes here, using your worksheet to write down anything and everything when you imagine overcoming your barrier and achieving your goal. Feelings, images, beliefs, words.
So hopefully that helped you get started with just putting some things in writing for yourself. One of my favorite stats is that, and this is sort of on the lower end, that we're 46% more likely to achieve a goal if we write it down. And I've read stats that go higher than that too, but I feel like it's pretty good. So you're already well on your way. You're here writing it down. Great job. Yes. So the next thing we're going to do is have you in a minute partner up so that you can affirm your goal out loud. Find that there's something really special that happens when we are able to be vulnerable with someone else. And the idea here is that it's up to you what you want to share. So you just would reflect on what you just wrote down about your goal, about a barrier or a couple barriers, whatever that was that you're overcoming, and most importantly, how it would feel to overcome those barriers. And so what we're going to do is when you have your partner in a minute, the idea will be that partner one will share whatever they feel comfortable, and partner two will practice active listening. So you'll give that gift of holding space to your partner, observing and taking notes. Maybe what made your partner seem most excited? Were there any words that when they were talking about their goal or what it would feel like to overcome those barriers really stood out? Or was there anything where they felt a little unsure or maybe a little stuck or less confident? And so you're just going to use your worksheet. If you turn it over, on the next page where it says affirm your goal, there's a space where when you're listening, you can take some notes. And then you'll share that with your partner, and then you'll switch roles. And so you'll get a chance to, if you were the listener, you'll get a chance to share. And hopefully this will just provide some additional perspective. To keep this easy, we'd love it if you just try to find someone at your table. So in a minute, you can grab a partner. Maybe it's an old friend, maybe it's a new friend. And if you are an odd number, just raise your hand and we'll help partner you up. We're going to give you 8 minutes for this exercise, and so we'll let you know when we're halfway through so that you switch. Okay, so go ahead. Just coming back. Always takes a minute. It's always a challenge coming back after opening up and sharing. Never feels quite like enough time to me when I'm sharing. I hope that helped to start to affirm out loud, perhaps getting some perspective from somebody else. What we want to do now is just on that same sheet, on the right-hand side, where it says confirm your why. I just want you to take a couple of minutes now to reflect on what you just shared, the perspective you received, and going inward, thinking about that heart-centered purpose behind your goal. Now that you've spent some time thinking about it, thinking about overcoming it, thinking about what it would feel like, I want you to just take a few minutes to write down why this goal is important to you. So now we're going to create this checklist, this action plan, to help you start to make this goal a reality. So on the next worksheet, we're going to do this in 3 steps. The first thing I'm going to have you do is just spend a little time thinking about anything and everything you need to make this goal a possibility. Is there research that you need to do? Are there conversations you could have to elicit support? Are there specific action steps that you know you're going to need to take? I'm sort of thinking through anything and everything. So an example I would give is a goal I had last year was to be more mobile, to have more mobility in my life. And some of the different ideas that I came up with were, gosh, it'd be great if during the workday I could every hour get up for 5 minutes and try to move around. I have a foam roller that I never seem to use, so maybe I could try to decide I'm going to do it in the morning a few days a week or before I go to bed. Gosh, I don't know what kind of foam roller exercises I should do. So perhaps some research I could do is look up online for some trainers, some ideas for what those could be. Maybe I could talk to a friend who's in very good shape that seems to really know all those foam rolling techniques. What could I do? So maybe another idea was I'm going to try to take public transit or walk a little bit more instead of taking Lyft rides. And so those would be some of the things that I would have written down. So that's the first step, is I just want you to think about kind of anything and everything that you need to make this goal a reality, and take a few minutes just to write that down. Okay, so now the next step is to start to prioritize that list. And I like to just, for the sake of time, keep this sort of simple. So on the next part of that page, I've created a section for you to pick 5. Just the first 5 action steps that you would need to take. And so looking at your list, starting to prioritize them. Maybe you only have 5, so it's perfect. You're just going to prioritize them. It might also be that as you do this, something else will come up, as you're prioritizing them. So the thing I do recommend when creating action steps towards a goal to make it reality is keeping it really simple, keeping it something that really is attainable. And so as you're reflecting on this, if there's a way that you can make it a little bit easier on yourself, go ahead and do that. I think a lot of times when I'm setting goals and I'm thinking those action steps, I go for the ideal. And sometimes it's nice to just go for that sort of, okay, what would the next step down be? So, for me, back in my example of the mobility, if I was looking at and thinking about all those things I could do, I might think, well, yeah, I think number 1, if I was going to prioritize them, is I just want to start to move 5 minutes every hour. That's the first thing that I know that I just want to start to do. And I know that I might not actually do it every hour, but I think that's something that could be attainable, and I'm going to write that down. And then maybe the second thing I'm going to do is, once I get that going, I'm going to start walking a little bit more, and I'm going to commit to that. Maybe that foam roller idea, I'm going to need to do some research, and then I'll get into doing my foam roller. So go ahead and look at your list and write down in priority order for yourself the first 5 things you're going to do. So now you're going to do step 3, the final step. So you're going to turn your worksheet over where it says finalize your self-care plan. And for each item that you put on your priority list, you're going to go ahead and start to make a commitment to yourself right now of how you think that you could make this happen. So for each action step, you're going to decide on a milestone, a date to start. Probably you're not going to start all 5 of those at the same time. That would be my recommendation. The other thing that you're going to do is affirm one way that you want to stay accountable. So this could be having an accountability partner. It can be a friend that in your life, a family member, a colleague, someone you've met here so far today. It could also be that you're going to be your own accountability partner. For me, for example, I really like the reward system that for me, myself, and I works really well. I really like buying fresh flowers, but it's not something that I do all of the time. So when I have a big goal and I'm trying to take steps towards it, sometimes I will do things like, hey, Karianne, if you were to get up every 5 minutes, once an hour, every day during the work week, Monday through Friday, you can buy yourself some flowers. And for me, that accountability would work. And I would think about that every day, and that would inspire me to do it. I've had other times in my life where it's just really helpful to have a friend that I can talk to about it and say, hey, is it okay if I text you or I give you a call? If I'm feeling like I'm not getting it done or I'm feeling a little frustrated with myself to keep going. So whatever that is for you is what I want you to reflect on. So the idea is that you'll just look back at those prioritized steps, and then for each one, you'll say, this is when I want to start it. It might be this week, it might be next month, it might be in 6 months from now. So this is totally up to you and what feels right as you think about the next year of your life and making this happen. And then you'll also think about what's one way I could stay accountable to myself. So in our final 5 minutes here, I'm just going to share some ways that you can help make sure this actually happens right outside of this room. So like I said, you're well on your way, having written it down, investing this hour in yourself doing this, being here for this entire day today. One way that I like to use these types of worksheets is to take a photo on my phone so that I don't lose track of it and I can remember what I wrote down. I think there's some power in seeing our own writing. There's definitely power, even from a brain perspective, of taking the time to write down what we believe and feel and why. So that would be one idea. Another idea is we've given you sort of a little homework assignment called Establish Your Mantra, and just some ideas on how you could create a self-care mantra for yourself to use for inspiration in times that you're feeling stuck, as a way to get up in the morning or as you're going to bed at night. And so you've done all the work today to help you create that. So you'll be able to review the words and feelings you wrote down in that first activity at the end of the meditation as you thought about overcoming your barrier, and you look back and think, gosh, what did I write down about what that would feel and look like for me? You talked with a partner today and you affirmed out loud that goal and got some feedback and maybe even got some new perspective from inside yourself as you heard your partner reflecting back to you. And then, as you're thinking about what you just wrote down and how did it feel to create an action plan? How did it feel to start to look, at an idea of a calendar and giving yourself some goals and deadlines? And so from those different sources of inspiration, the mantra is very simple. The one that we like to use is I am, and then you fill in what that is. And the reason behind that is because it's in present tense. So you're not saying, I will be, or this is what's going to happen. You're saying, I am today. And so one mantra that worked really well for me in the last year was, I am okay. I was going through a lot of different emotional changes in my life, and that actually was a suggestion from my therapist, and I really liked it. So it was literally, I'm okay. Another version of that I know Will has used is, I am love. And you could take that a step farther, and it could be something like, I am okay in this moment. I am okay in uncertainty. It could be, I am love to everyone around me. I am love and am loved. So it's just, the idea is that it's just really simple, it's organic, it comes from you, from a very heart-centered place. And then, as I mentioned, the way to use that mantra is it could be something to help you in the morning if you wanted to start a meditation practice. Just like Will took you through in the beginning, it was just a really soft body scan, starting with the top of the head down to the feet, checking in with the breath. How does it feel to be breathing right now? And then using something like this mantra and saying it just a few times to yourself to just get yourself in a centered place. It's a great exercise to do before going to bed. And then again, this mantra could be used in times of feeling stuck, or even when you're really excited. It's a way to kind of put that out into the world. So our hope is that you'll take some time for yourself today to write that down. You might even share it with a friend. In terms of also keeping this work going, we always like to share our information. So at the bottom of your worksheet, it got cut off a little, but we included my hashtag or my Instagram handle, Karianne.Michelle. Our company is Lofti, so it's @GetLofty. And we do have a sign-up sheet out in the hall. We are at Chill Meditation and Massage regularly, doing sound baths, yin yoga and sound, meditation and sound. So if you liked that, it's a way to know when we're going to be there. We also do this type of programming in the corporate environment. So if you were inspired by this today, have a team or a culture where you think something like working on self-care, compassionate communication, integrating meditation in a way into your workday would be of interest, we would love to work with you. Thank you for making this time for yourself today and for checking in on your goal. We hope you have a great rest of your time.